In Southern California, one can bask by the Pacific Ocean and then 2 or 3 hours later by car, head over to some of the highest mountains in the region to view the same ocean from afar. Someone in Lebanon could do the same exact activity, bask by the Mediterranean Sea, then 2 or 3 hours later, climb some of the highest mountains in the region, view the same sea from afar. Hello everyone, my name is Joe Basrawi, UCLA student. Right behind me are the Santa Monica Mountains, and beyond that way is the Pacific Ocean and Malibu, the very famous town of Malibu. Now, the whole point of all this is to describe the somewhat familial relationship, or I should say, simply put, Southern California and the Levant region in the Middle East, or Southwest Asia, are cousins, geologic cousins. The real pinpoint with this relationship between the two geologies is the notion of fault systems. Southern California is plagued by earthquakes throughout its lifetime, and it's the main culprit behind these earthquakes is the San Andreas fault system, a transform fault system where two tectonic plates, the Pacific plate and the North American plate, slide past each other in a horizontal-like fashion. The same sort of transform fault system can be found in the Levant region. It's described as the Dead Sea transform system. African plate and Arabian plate moving in a horizontal fashion. Now, surely it doesn't really make too much sense just by saying, oh yeah, they're geologic cousins because of these sliding motions. There's more to it than that. Notice the mountain ranges in the Levant region and the mountain regions here in Southern California. Both are by the water. Both are almost the same height, about 10,000 to 11,000 feet on average. And these mountains were formed in the same processes, formed in the same transform system-like fashion. To simplify it, really, you have masses of earth moving past each other, and then there's a little step in the fault system where it's not just a straight line, there's a little step. It somewhat changes direction all of a sudden. This change in direction within the fault system causes what are sliding blocks to actually compress. This is called transpression. Compression of these massive earth pieces, in a sense, come together, build up upwards, and thus form mountain ranges. The San Andreas fault system has these steps, and thus we have the transverse ranges here, or the transverse ranges are a bigger picture of the Santa Monica Mountains here. Santa Monica Mountains, an umbrella, a member of the transverse range umbrella. Whereas over in the Levant region, we have the famous Golan Heights alongside the Lebanese mountain ranges, including the Anti-Lebanon mountain range. At the same time, too, we have not just heights, relationships in geologic heights. We also have relationships in geologic depths. Notice here in Southern California, we have a very famous sea artificially made called the Salton Sea. It's a pull-apart basin, also derived from the San Andreas fault system, where the same sort of step relationship comes into play, but instead of two earth masses coming together and building up, the direction in which the transform fault goes, it's almost the opposite effect, where the slip motion is opposite to each other, and a basin is pulled. The earth is literally pulled apart like with Play-Doh. You could just take a piece of Play-Doh, pull it up, it flattens out, as long as you don't break it, of course. The Salton Sea is a result of that, alongside multiple basins in Southern California, including the Los Angeles Basin, Ventura Basin, which Ventura is north of me and LA Basin is south of me. Malibu is a center point in that regard. In the Levant region, you have the Dead Sea, one of the lowest, probably actually, to my knowledge, the lowest point on Earth. And this low point on Earth is created from the same exact processes. A pull-apart basin where the Dead Sea the transform system causes a pull-apart physics phenomenon, and all this water just piles in, and it turns out to be some of the saltiest water in the world, piles in into this pull apart basin in a sense, and we have the Dead Sea.